Look, just like all of you watching, I am human and I tend to make mistakes and forget things. Like this. This was sent to me by a channel member and I completely forgot that it was coming and also what was in it. So today we're going to go ahead and talk about it because honestly, this is one that's really, really exciting. I did not think I was going to have the chance to check it out. Let's go. Hey, how's it going, everybody? If you're new here, welcome in. And if you've been here before, smash the like button on the way in. I'm Rollshambo, the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. And today I'm excited because there is at least one knife in this packet that I am really interested in checking out. And this was sent in my way by a channel member. Shout out to Fred the Lug. So let's go ahead and see exactly what we got here. So there is a concept Sibin. There is a Vosted Valhund. But the one that I'm really looking forward to talking about today is this guy. This is the Gecko Custom Knife Works. Ooh. This is the Pictis, and this is a knife that immediately I have one big regret about. Yeah. Now, for these other two, I've actually already done content on both the Concept Sibin and on the Vosted Valhund. And if you want to check that out, I'll make sure to link to those videos down in the description. Since I've already covered these knives, I'm going to go ahead and put them back in the pouch. The channel member that sent this in hasn't even had an opportunity to experience these yet. In fact, he ordered this knife and immediately before it got to him, he had it sent out to be reviewed, to be checked out by other channels, and it hasn't had an opportunity to go to its home.
That's your home! Are you too good for your home?
So I forgot this was on its way. I forgot that it was coming. And so, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to wing it. I'm going to talk about this knife. It's not going to be like one of my regular reviews where I do cut tests and where I carry it for multiple days before giving my opinion, because quite honestly, I just want the owner to be able to experience this knife. This is easily one of the best Chinese production knives that I have had an opportunity to hold in my hands all year long. And the moment I got it out of the package, I knew. I handle lots and lots of knives, and there are times where you pick up a knife and immediately you know when you feel that phantom action that is both guillotine and control. When you see things like no visible body screws on the show side because they're only on the clip side. When you see a blind screwed, contoured 3D milled pocket clip, which fits in perfectly with your hand, not to mention, oh, look at that hollow grind. That is ridiculous. Yeah, guys, this is definitely not a review. This is more of a reaction because I have not handled this knife enough for it to be a full review. But I'm going to tell you about the things that I absolutely love about this knife because already there are many. Now you might be wondering, well, you know, what's the specs? We can't tell by the size and shape of your hands. This is 7 3/4 inches long, so just shy of that 8-inch range, which means that it's going to be, I would just go ahead and call this a full-size knife, guys. This is a full-size knife, 7 3/4 inches, close enough for government work. The blade is 3.6 inches long, and it's made of this absolutely gorgeously satin finished, bi-directional satin finish S90V. I'm not entirely sure who the OEM is on this. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments section. Just looking at this, I'm going to assume it was Bestech or, yeah, Bestech or Riot. One of the two. Yeah, one of the two. We've got some nice sculpting and milling here on these handle scales, and they are chamfered on the sides as well. They are not contoured, but with this level of precise machine work, they don't really need to be. The pocket clip is, and since that's the part coming in contact with the palm of your hand, it does a lot of that leg work as far as the ergos in hand feel. There are two primary deployment options here. We have this front flipper, which works very well, even for a plebe like myself who is not good at front flippers. And then this elongated deployment window. So the way these work when you have a long deployment slot like this, or a deployment fuller, is the lower down you go, the lighter the detent is. It's just physics. It's science. Yeah, science. And of course, the higher up you go, the stiffer the detent. So you can kind of, create your own story there to make sure that the action is exactly what you want. Usually I go somewhere in the middle, and yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. The blade shape on here is going to be somewhere in the middle of a reverse Tonto or a K-tip mixed in with a sheep's foot, because we have a little bit of belly right here, and that little notch there at the top, which is kind of an interesting design choice, but you know what? I'm here for it. I love this style of knife because it remains thick all the way to that point, and then it's really, really thin and slicey, which means you're going to be able to get into materials and cut away and slice away with literally just the tip. That is fantastic. If you can't tell, that is a deep hollow grind. Oh man, T8 hardware is standard everywhere, and this is what I would call an inset liner lock. Yeah, actually kind of reminds me of, the lock on my Craig Brown Cortex XL, but we won't really get into that. In fact, actually, you know what? If you want to do a quick size comparison, here we go. Pictis Cortex XL. Yeah, it's the Cortex XL is going to be a little bit bigger, just a tiny bit bigger, not by a huge margin, actually pretty similar. As far as everything else is concerned, we have nicely milled titanium handle scales, titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip, single-sided captive pivot. The highlight here is that action is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Blade centering, perfect. Lockup, we got a little bit of wiggle right there, but that might just be because this has been passed around. I'm going to be careful and just ever so slightly tighten that. And wiggle is gone. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I don't really do a whole lot of pass rounds anymore, guys. It's because I want to experience a knife the way that you would experience it if you were to go ahead and buy one. And with these pass round knives, the truth of the matter is that I don't know how many people have handled this before me. I don't know what it was like when it was brand new out of the box. I don't know. This knife has been broken in, but it's broken in beautifully. This is a knife that I immediately have regrets about. And that regret is one thing in particular. I regret not buying this knife. I regret it. I should have done it. And you know what? I saw when they came out for pre-order. I saw when they came out for release. I saw when they sold out. And in the back of my mind, I just told myself there will be other knives. But the truth is that this is really very well done, and it feels like a truly finished product. Gecko Custom Knife Works is known for their ability to modify your existing knife, and they do a lot of things. Like they can do, as far as I'm aware, they can do things like Cerakote or Anno work. They do a lot of mod work, right? And so they know what works. They know what people like. And they took that knowledge and they said, here you go. Here's a knife that will absolutely blow your mind. Whether it is this absolutely whisper thin cutting geometry held together by this gorgeous satin hollow grind, or the subtle sculpting and chamfering around these slab style handle scales with the fluted milling, this is extremely well done. It's different without being loud. It's comfortable in the hand. It stands out in the crowd. It's got the perfect action. All of the quality of life things are there. And get this, they're sold out, but when they were brand new, $240. This feels like a $400 knife. I'm going to say that again. This feels like a $400 production knife. Now, I know this was made in China. Again, I'm not entirely sure who the OEM is, but oh man, that is way too good. That's way too good. Damn. Now, they did have this available in a dark finish as well, a dark wash finish. I don't believe this is the dark wash finish, but I could be mistaken. This is really nice. And I know that the owner is going to be so very happy to get this back in hand. Now, the question you might have is, well, is there anything about this knife that you don't like? Yeah, they didn't make enough of them. These are sold out, and I wish that they weren't, because if they weren't, I'd be going online right now and I'd be buying one. This is fantastic. This is extremely well executed. You could tell that this is a design that went through many iterations. This is not something that they just looked at and said, you know what, here's a picture, OEM, go do your thing. No. This is a knife that's been prototyped. This is a knife that's been thought out. This is a knife that addresses all the things that people really, really care about. Multiple deployment options, it's got it. Perfect action, it's got it. T8 hardware everywhere. For the freaks like me, got it. Beautiful aesthetics that are both simple and clean. Man, that is a thing of beauty. Guys, if you have an opportunity to get a Pictis, just buy one. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. What do you think of the Gecko Customs Pictis? Did you buy one? Or like me, do you have the regret that you actually missed out on what could have been one of your favorite knives all year long? Let's have that discussion in the comment section down below. I got to package this thing up and get it off to its rightful owner so that he can experience how awesome the Gecko Customs Pictis really is. Guys, that's going to do it for me. I'll catch you in the next one. If you want to watch some more awesome knife and EDC content, go ahead and click on one of the videos that pops up next.